Hello, everyone. Welcome to my entry on our discussion issue number two regarding new media and development communication work. Now, on the question of in the context of the Philippines, will new media platforms like the internet or internet radio, ebooks, and etc., have a role in development communication work? This is what we have to, of course, support our argument with relevant literature. Now, the easiest answer to that would be yes. No, we can still um, utilize these new platforms, new media platforms in our development communication work. So let's try to address first the question of why. Now, in my contention, it's bringing the tenets of development communication that was established in the time of traditional media and contextualizing it to the new media of today. So therefore, it's not about completely deviating from what development communication was before with the use of traditional media, but rather transferring it now and utilizing the uses of new media for the same purposes. But let's try to paint a picture first of why this is the case. According to Kemp on Data Reportal, there were 86.98 million internet users in the Philippines at the start of 2024, and internet penetration, where the percentage of the population with immediate access to internet in their homes stands at 73.6%. To add to that, the Philippines was home to 86.75 million social media users in January 2024, which equates to 73.4% of the total population. Now, the development communication practice stands at an auspicious position to leverage this tool, this reality that we are facing of the pervasiveness of the internet, to intensify the reach of DevCom in the audience without sacrificing what it truly is in its core. And what is development communication in its core? According to Lastria, Tabing, and Asalia 2001, the nature of development communication materials, they are purposive, they are pragmatic, they are mass-oriented, scientific in outlook, and relevant and value-laden. Apologies for the typographical error. Now, all of these things can still be achieved with the use of the new social media platforms that we have today. No? In fact, we are simply building up on these natures and still achieving it today with the new platforms. But to add to that, the advantage that new media platforms present in development communication work is the aspect of interactivity. According to Chowdhury 2011, it is the new media's factor of interactivity, which equates to instantaneous feedback and high capability to persuade, that gets people on board in the process of development. Now, we can get people on board to the development process back in the use of traditional media, but it's become even more possible with the aspect of interactivity in our new media platforms. And to cap it all off, we go back to Schramm's depiction of the role of media in development communication, which is encapsulated in three things, which is to inform, to instruct, and to participate. Again, all of these things are made possible still with the use of our new media platform. But we go back to our question, no, of the new media having a role in DevCom work in the new media platform. We now go back to the easiest question, yes, but I answer that yes, but how? Let's try to look at some examples and how this can be attained. Let's look at this example from the Save the Children Philippines. This is an online post on their Facebook page, which basically applauds the signing of Republic Act number 12080, the Basic Education, Mental Health, and Well-being Promotion Act. Now, this online post still satisfies the nature of development communication materials, where it is number one, purposive. Now, the aim is very clearly set in place for the creation of this post, which is to change people's attitudes and behavior around mental health and young learners. It is also pragmatic in the sense because the online platform is very suitable for reaching wide audiences, including stakeholders and everyone in general. It is also mass oriented. We can see this in the simplistic approach, in the caption, the straightforward layout of the graphics and the text to ensure that people of varied demographics can still understand and grasp the message. It is also scientific in outlook because online posts they are not created without an ample amount of planning, designing, evaluating, etc., which tells of its systematic production still. It is also relevant clearly because of its non-traditional topic. Mental health in the basic education sector is very important and deserves of a very big and wide platform to be talked about, and the new media satisfies that very well. Next, it is lastly value laden. The value of fostering understanding around the mental health of children aims to uplift us as a society. This is to help children to no longer be misunderstood so they can be supported in fulfilling their greatest potential. Now, as an example for interactivity in the new media, the online teleradio program of the city government of Tagum, Ratsada sa Buntag, is an ample example of that. This program provides platform for different sectors and stakeholders in the city to come up on that platform and speak on behalf of their good cause. For instance, they had in this episode, a guest health professional come in to talk about SOGI and HIV awareness. Now, it's interesting because this is simultaneously broadcasted on the radio, but as we know that with the radio, its basic limitation is um, the lack of immediate feedback, which is somehow addressed in the online platform that they are broadcasting this simultaneously with, where the essence of interactivity is still present, where people can easily comment, to address, and to speak to the guest speakers themselves through their platform. And lastly, we can look at this example from Greenpeace Philippines, which is the example of the role of media, in this case, the new media in DevCom. As we know that this aims to inform people of plastic pollution as an environmental crisis and a human rights issue, and they also instruct people to join their audience in the Global Plastics Treaty to uphold human rights and dignity by way of text and pictures, which also attains the interactivity aspect of it still. Lastly, to participate. No, they asked their audiences to sign a petition, which is a very concrete action to do. And such communication would not come as easily in traditional media as the limitations for hyperlinking is not present. But in this context, the new media has helped elevate what media can do for development communication purposes. So, to top it all off, my answer to this discussion issue is that the new media is the testament to the resiliency of development communication. It is not there to it does not disappear or go out of style with the new media. In fact, it's gotten more fortified, more relevant, more accessible, and more achievable with the new media. Here are my references for this discussion issue, and thank you so much for listening.